Jimmy Lee!
Mother. Oh, welcome to Port Charles.
At last.
It's been way, way too long.
Much too long. Oh, you look wonderful.
Well, thank you. So do you.
I look a mess. I don't know what they do to the air in those planes. There's not a drop of moisture in it. My skin feels like sandpaper.
Are you kidding? You look so much younger than I expected.
You're much too kind, but enough about me. Can't tell you what a thrill it is to see you again. Imagine, after all these years, reunited with my son.
I hope we're not intruding.
Oh, of course not. Come on in, let me take your coats.
Thank you.
How are you doing?
Fine, fine.
Not great.
Well, we take turns propping each other up.
Well, if you have to go through something as terrible as this, it's better if you're not alone.
I wouldn't want to try that. Fortunately, I haven't had to. Thank you.
Did you want to see Robert?
Yes, is he here?
He's in the other room.
Holly, I've just been going crazy. I didn't want to wait there for his call. I thought I'd come over here. Has he heard anything yet?
Rick, thought that was your voice I could hear. Hi, Blackie.
Hi, Robert.
How are you?
I'll be a little better if you have some good news. Have you found Luke and Laura?
The thing that you want to remember about medical school entrance exams is that the questions are not there to fool you. They're pretty much straightforward, but that's not to say that they're going to be easy.
No, that much I know.
And they don't want you to regurgitate information. What they want you to do is interpret the material, but believe me, sometimes that's a lot more difficult.
I wouldn't doubt it.
Oh, I wish I could have been of more help to you, Grant.
Alan, you were very helpful. I appreciate you taking the time to come over and go over this with me.
Well, I'm glad to do it.
I can imagine you must be terribly upset about the sudden death of your colleague.
I just can't believe it. We're all in such shock. I can't believe that Leslie Weber is gone. You expecting someone?
As a matter of fact, I was. Would you mind getting it for me? You're a little more mobile.
Sure.
Yes. This is Grant Putnam's room, isn't it?
That's right. Henry, please come in.
Oh, Grant.
Thank you. Henry Armistead, Dr. Alan Quartermain.
How do you do, Dr. Quartermain?
Mr. Armistead, I believe you've got something for me.
Ah, yes, right here. As you requested, I've brought your will.
Exciting.
Me too.
You know, you're almost the way I pictured you.
No, I was wondering how you picked me out so fast.
Oh, it was easy. You look exactly like my father.
You know, I've always been curious of who I look like.
Remind me to show you a picture of him.
Talking about pictures, yours don't do you any justice. You know, you are beautiful.
Wow, thank you. You've turned into quite the charmer, haven't you?
Well, I've been working on it, especially since I've come to Port Charles.
I imagine most of the eligible young ladies in town are beating a path to your doorstep.
A few of the ineligible ones, too.
Like father, like son.
You know, I can't wait to show you off to everyone.
Everyone can wait. All I want to do is have my son all to myself.
That's fine with me. What's wrong?
It's truly remarkable.
What is?
Hey, the way you look like my father.
Is that good or bad?
He was the handsomest man I ever knew.
You know, I want to know all about him, among other things.
We have a lot of catching up to do.
And all the time in the world to do it.
I imagine you are anxious to hear the story about how I had to give you up when you were a baby.
Well, I think it's a good bet that it would come up in conversation.
Fine, but later, okay? Right now, all I want to do is look at you.
Can you look over the baggage claim area? Because if we don't get there real soon, you'll be wearing my clothes while in Port Charles.
I'm terribly sorry. I was so excited about seeing you, I forgot all about my luggage.
You know something? Having you in Port Charles is a dream come true for me. Come on.
I mean, it just doesn't seem right to have the services without Laura being here.
And Luke, too.
Look, I know how you feel. I just want to tell it to you how it is in the moment.
No, right now it doesn't look very good, does it?
Well, I wouldn't give up hope just at the moment. I mean, although I haven't spoken to my WSB contact in India, I mean, I am expecting something shortly. Now, it all depends on whether the Sherpas can get through to the ashram in Himalayas and deliver a message to Luke and Laura.
And if they can't?
It means we probably can't get a message to them.
Well, I don't know what to do.
Look, I'm expecting to hear something soon. Let's wait and see, huh?
Look, I cannot go on putting off the schedule of the funeral.
Look, would you both care to stay here and wait for the call?
Yes, I would, thank you. Blackie, you don't have to. No, I know you got a lot of things to do, and I will understand.
Nowhere,
Go.
No.
I'm going to be fine.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, I'm not. And that's why I want to be with you. All right?
Thank you. Thanks.
Thank you.
I know your family must be a real comfort to you.
Well, if I didn't have this guy and Mike and Amy, I would be in pieces because they're the ones holding me together.
You know, it works both ways, buddy.
I can tell.
Why do you have to have a tragedy like this to remind you of how much you have to be thankful for? I would have settled, for an evening, maybe 24 hours, because I had a lot of things I had to say to Leslie. Like I had to tell her how much I loved her. And,
She knew.
Why didn't I make us all some tea?
Hey, that's a good idea, love. Make the time pass a bit quicker.
Rick?
oh, yeah, sure, if it's not too much trouble. Thanks.
No problem, really. I'll just be a minute.
Everybody's been just nice, really nice. I mean, so nice that it's getting on my nerves.
I know what you mean.
I mean, they call, and they even come by, and they all ask the same thing. They want to know when the funeral's going to be.
What are you telling them?
The truth. I can't have a funeral unless I know if Laura can be here or not.
I can't blame you for that.
Yeah, nobody blames you.
If I think there's the slightest possibility you can find him, then I'll postpone it. I'll make it next week.
Yeah. I'd do the same thing.
I don't know how to say goodbye to Leslie.
Yeah, this looks fine, just exactly as we discussed.
Are you sure you want to do this?
Absolutely certain. We've been through all that before, Henry.
Yes, I thought, having seen it in print, you might have had second thoughts.
Nope, not a one. Shall we get on with it?
Now?
Why not? I'll sign it and make it all official.
Yeah, well, I'm afraid it's not quite that simple.
No, I know. I need 2 witnesses, but I figured that as long as I had Alan here and you, we could...
No. I'm not eligible. No, we're not allowed to witness the signing of a document that we prepared.
I see.
Besides, you don't know that Dr. Quartermain is even willing to go on record as your witness.
Oh, I'm sure he wouldn't mind. Would you mind, Alan?
Well, to tell you the truth, I didn't expect to be involved in anything like this, but as long as I'm here, I'll be glad to help.
Thank you. I appreciate that. You see, Alan was kind enough to stop by and give me some pointers on taking the medical school entrance exams.
Well, you're still missing a second witness.
True. Wait a second. I know a friend of mine, Jackie Templeton, could sign it for me.
Well, how long will it take her to get here? I mean, assuming that you could reach her. Now, I don't think Dr. Quartermain has got the time to wait around while you go searching for another witness.
There's no problem there. Jackie was coming over for coffee anyway. I just remembered that.
Ah, convenient.
Yes. Yes, so, Alan, if you wouldn't mind sticking around for a few minutes more, we can sign it as soon as she arrives. Though I wouldn't want to hold you up.
No, it's all right. I do have some time this morning. The clinic is closed because of Leslie, and there's another doctor on that's covering for the emergency, so I can hang around for a bit.
Good. Such a shame about Dr. Weber. Tragedy striking someone so young. A death like that, so unexpected, you never get over.
One I really feel sorry for is Leslie's son, Mike. He was adopted when he was very, very young, and so this is the second mother that he's lost now.
Oh, poor kid.
She's got a grown-up daughter. I'm sure that she will deal with it eventually, but he's still so dependent on his mother. And now Rick is going to have to be both a father and a mother to him.
Well, at least little Mike's going to have someone. There's nothing more dreadful than growing up without a family. I wouldn't wish that on anyone. Which is exactly why I am taking these steps to fashion sort of a surrogate family for myself. That's why Henry is here. And all it will take is one stroke of the pen.
Thank you, Holly.
Blackie,
No, thanks.
you'd probably prefer coffee, wouldn't you?
It really doesn't matter much these days.
Excuse me.
Is that your contact in India?
Be.
Mind if I listen?
Come on.
Thank you.
Scorpio. Yeah. You sure? How far? Good. All right, keep at it. Let me know the minute you hear anything. Yeah, thank you.
They didn't find him.
Bad news?
Well, it's not good. The Sherpas got through to the ashram, but the American couple had left.
Great, so much for that.
Did they find out where Luke and Laura were going?
Yeah, they've gone to a nearby village.
Well, can these guys get to the village?
Well, my contact has already sent a messenger ahead. It isn't far, apparently, and he's going to look for Luke and Laura. Now, we may get through to them yet.
When?
Well, I'm not going to know for certain.
Robert, I just can't keep postponing this funeral.
Yeah, well, look, with any luck, we'll know in a couple of hours.
Well, I guess I could put it off for a couple of hours, but then I'm going to have to reach a decision.
You and Blackie are welcome to wait here if you'd like.
Yeah, look, why don't you do that? I'm not going anywhere till I get some information about Luke and Laura, and you won't be in my way.
Thanks, man. We've been here long enough. I'd like to go home. Mike is going to be there, and I'd like to be with Mike.
Well, there's other people there, too.
Yeah. We'll wait to hear from you.
Yeah, okay. Well, if you feel anxious at all and you want to come back, you're welcome.
We appreciate it very much. What do you want to do?
I'm sticking with you.
I can call you when they let me know.
I'll save the dime, Doc. Thanks.
Well, I guess we're together on this. We'll see you.
Okay, now listen, if you need anything at all.
We'll let you know, Robert. Holly, thank you.
Take care.
Thank you very much.
Robert, thanks.
Well, here we are. Home, sweet home.
Jimmy Lee? It's darling.
Well, I'm glad you like it.
Ooh.
Not bad for a guy who spends most of his time at work, is it?
Fresh flowers. Do you get them every day?
Every day my mother's here.
You are so sweet.
Thank you.
Jimmy Lee, what are you doing back already?
Oh, is there something you haven't told me?
I wish.
I wish I'd known you were going to be back so soon. I wanted to be all through by the time you're...
Too late.
Yes.
Oh, Mother, this is Celia Andrews. Celia, this is my mother, Beatrice.
How do you do?
Hello.
It's a pleasure meeting you, Beatrice.
Mrs. Lasser.
Ah, yes. Well, I wish I could say I've heard a lot about you, Mrs. Lasser, but I really haven't. I do know, however, that Jimmy Lee is just thrilled to have you here.
Have you worked for him long?
About as long as it takes to redo a bedroom. I am just about done. I just have one last curtain panel to put on the window.
You mean you finished the bedspreads already?
Yes, and they look quite marvelous, if I do say so myself.
Well, you ought to know.
Yes. Well, give me just 2 minutes and the bedroom will be all set.
Well, no, come on. Take your time. Take it easy.
Jimmy Lee, I must tell you how much I appreciate your arranging all this for me.
Well, don't thank me. Thank Celia. She's done all the work.
I'm afraid I was never trained in the homemaking art. That was always left to the help.
Oh, well, I enjoy it.
I'm sure you do. I can barely thread a needle myself.
But you sure know how to make a point, don't you?
Well, I will just be going in the other room and tidy up, if you don't mind, sir.
Yeah.
You didn't tell me you had a housekeeper.
I think there's a lot we have to talk about.
Apparently. Miss What's-her-name is a pretty little thing, though, isn't she? Wherever did you find her?
You wouldn't believe me if I told you.
She's rather attractive in a simple sort of way.
How do you mean?
I mean, for her.
Why?
Well, she obviously fancies you, but of course she's hardly in your class. But I rather imagine you have gold diggers like her running after you wherever you go.
Yeah. I've been thinking of getting an unlisted bank account number.
Being a quartermain has its advantages, as I'm sure you've already found out.
Oh, we'll talk about that some other time. Right now, let's talk about how was your trip?
You know, Henry, you've got to learn to relax. You're going to give yourself an ulcer. I know exactly what I'm doing.
Grant, sometimes I wonder.
I'll get it. Give me a chance to stretch out a bit. Coming.
Your coffee, sir.
Wonderful. Please, if you would, just put it down on the table there. And if you wouldn't mind, please pour. Gentlemen, just help yourselves.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thanks very much.
Here you go. You just keep the change for yourself.
Thank you very much, sir.
Hi.
Jackie, there you are. I was beginning to wonder.
What's going on?
Oh, just a little impromptu gathering we're having here.
Well, maybe I should take a rain check on our coffee break.
No, Jackie.
Sure.
I'm glad that you're here, yes. As a matter of fact, you could help me out with a small business matter, if you will.
And what's that?
You see, my attorney brought some papers that he wanted me to sign, but he forgot I needed a couple of witnesses. Now, I figured that as long as Alan was here and you were coming, we could go ahead and get it over with. If, of course, you wouldn't mind acting as a witness. Really just a formality. Alan's already agreed.
Why not?
Wonderful. It shouldn't take more than a minute.
Okay.
Alan, I believe that you already know Jackie.
Miss Templeton?
Hello, Doctor.
And this is my attorney, Henry Armistead. Henry, Jackie Templeton.
Pleasure, Miss Templeton.
How do you do?
I think that we can go ahead with things now. Alan and Jackie have both agreed to act as witnesses.
Very well.
Grant, you realize I can't sign anything without reading the fine print.
Perhaps I can save you that trouble.
Just kidding. I trust you.
No, Jackie. I would not want you to
No, I
violate
do.
your principles. Please, I can spare you the trouble. It's witnessing the signing of my will that you will be party to.
You're kidding me.
That's what I thought.
No, I'm quite serious about it. If you don't believe me, ask my attorney here. Yes.
Aren't you a little young to be having a will drawn up?
Not really. You never know what could happen.
That's true, but I'm...
You what?
Nothing. Forget it. It's really no big deal. You're right.
No, it certainly isn't a big deal. Besides, this way I can have friends as witnesses instead of a couple of strangers. You know, I know so few people here in Port Charles. Just you and the Quartermains. And, of course, Grant and Celia Andrews. But then I suppose I couldn't ask them to witness the signing of a will naming them as sole beneficiaries, now could I? Oh. But then that's neither here nor there. Well, I've got my witnesses. Henry, show me, where do I sign?